Hello everyone, I'm Jarasar, your host and caster, bringing you the battle report from the Winter Premiere Semi-Finals. In one half of the bracket we had the Immortals take on Luminosity Gaming, and in the other half we had Complexity Gaming take on the newly signed Ghost Gaming. Let's see how they got on. Our first semi-final started on Dorado, where Immortals' initial 4-tank push only served to allow a fast teleporter to be placed, but that didn't slow their second push as Grim Reality and company rolled over the teleporter and the entirety of the Luminosity team to claim the first checkpoint. The Streets phase didn't start off any better for Super Plouk or Ube as Grim Reality caught them in a graviton and served up the triple kill, allowing Immortals to continue their push unhindered. Luminosity stabilized and managed to burn the clock down to only a minute remaining though at the second checkpoint. Grim Reality fired off a speculative long-range graviton, but it was excellent because it allowed Chance to swing through for 3 kills while Luminosity's barrage couldn't get the necessary kills to stultify the offense. And despite a great defensive teamfight win, Luminosity seemed to let their foot off the gas a little bit, and the respawning members of Immortals were able to maintain overtime and create a dangerous push that resulted in all 3 points on the board. On the flip side, the initial engagement from Luminosity's attack was defended well. They used a traditional dive comp but unfortunately didn't engage together and were picked off in scattered skirmishes. They decided to engage with a Transcendence for their second push, but a fantastically placed biotic grenade from Ethan disallowed the healing and essentially wasted Hidan's ultimate, as Agility's whole hogged the team to death. After a successful teamfight for Luminosity, Immortals decided not only to push back and try and defend the first checkpoint, but unwisely investing Earth Shatter well after the fight was lost. With little time remaining to make it through the second checkpoint, Luminosity soon found themselves in an overtime push under the bridge, fighting to stay alive. Despite Icefeld's Tracer play earning multiple kills, the reinforcements and nano-boosted Reinhardt were able to clear the cart and claim map number 1 for Immortals. On to Temple of Anubis. After a lightning-quick capture on point A, Immortals found themselves tasked with taking point B from an entrenched Luminosity defense that had 6 ultimates at 6 minutes remaining. Immortals moved into the choke and were brutally greeted by a graviton and rocket barrage from Ube that killed 4. Immortals' next push became a marathon war of attrition, as Agilities on Genji opened the point wide, but stall tactics from Luminosity kept the point contested for well over a minute, burning the clock. Hyped as D.Va racked up killing blow after killing blow, and Grim Reality put on a clinic of sharpshooting on McCree until they eventually captured the point. Luminosity started their attack with a triple DPS dive comp that was as effective as their earlier Dorado attempt. They engaged together but quickly got separated and picked off in small skirmishes across the map. Luckily for them, Hidana's Mercy appeared from the shadows to resurrect 3 and take positioning on the point. After capturing point A, Luminosity built up their bank of ultimates and pulled the trigger, rushing the point and barraging with sound barrier to stay healthy. Little came from the ultimates though, as Grim Reality went on an absolute rip, killing 4 before falling, but that was enough to hold for now. Grim Reality then became the hurdle that Luminosity couldn't overcome, getting back-to-back 3Ks on defense. And on their last push, Ube got a double kill, but it wasn't enough to outweigh the spawn points of Immortals, and point B got held, giving Immortals the 2-0 lead. The Grim Reality show continued on the first stage of Nepal, helping Immortals fight their way back onto the point and take the first capture. Luminosity's opportunity to shift the momentum in their favor came in the form of a nano-boosted Ube wielding Dragon Blade, but he was immediately slapped by Ethan and then pushed out of the fight by Agility's whole hog. After losing Sanctum, Luminosity started Shrine off strongly, getting a flurry of kills. They failed to account for Grim Reality though, who answered back with a quad kill of his own on McCree to give the first capture to Immortals. Luminosity was able to capture the point for a short duration, and Icefeld began to have an impact in the teamfights as Tracer, coupling his pulse bomb with a graviton from Spree and chasing on the point to help clean out the attacking team. Despite Icefeld's impact, Agilities on Genji one-upped him and used Dragon Blade to kill 4 and secure the point once more for the Immortals. Village was Luminosity's last chance to stay in the map and keep their hopes alive. Icefeld again showed he wasn't ready to go home just yet, opening the map up with a heroic display of Tracer gunplay, only to be outmatched by Grim Reality's Tracer play, which earned him a triple kill and an Immortals first capture. Luminosity fought back, capturing and holding the point until 75%, when Agilities unleashed the Dragon Blade yet again, finding 3 and setting his team up for one last teamfight against the 4 ultimates of Luminosity. A hard-fought final teamfight on the point, dragged into overtime, but Luminosity couldn't get the kills they needed and couldn't maintain their staying power. Slowly chipped down and then bullied off the point, Immortals claimed Village and won both the map and the match. Our second semi-final saw Complexity Gaming taking on newly named Ghost, who barreled through the first leg of Route 66, capping the first checkpoint with a flurry of kills from Baby Bay's Nano Visor to fully reset the defensive Complexity at the start of the second phase. During the first part of Streets, the ultimate management between the two teams seemed quite far apart. Ghost's Earthshatter struck 2 while Winghaven's only stunned a Diva, and Harblue used his Graviton Surge after the fight was seemingly already lost. Harblue came back strong though, first earning a triple kill just with a charged up laser to push back the attackers, and then proceeded to land a huge 5-man Graviton Surge, setting up Nicholas for a Pulse Bomb double. Ghost eventually managed to clean up the Streets phase due to a huge Nano Visor from Baby Bay, catching Complexity on the flank and killing 3. Complexity rallied in the final stretch, defending the payload just short of the goal, and finishing the half with a nano-boosted Torque on Reaper, killing 5. Ghost's defense leaned heavily on Connor J to perform on Roadhog. He delivered though, and then some. The defense smothered Complexity's attempts and the momentum carried them to a full hold before the payload even passed Big Earls. Complexity opened King's Row with their now well-known Sombra strategy. Torque got off the ENP on almost the entirety of Ghost, but the defense didn't need any abilities to fight back and defend the initial engagement, only to lose the point on the next push. Complexity pushed during brawls in the Streets phase, but they got met by Baby Bay's Nano Visor directly before the second checkpoint, which wiped the offense. After successfully moving past the second checkpoint, Complexity faced a low time bank to finish the map. During the last teamfight, they again faced up against Baby Bay's Visor and again fell to his rifle. On the other side, Connor J started off Ghost's offensive push perfectly with a double kill. Complexity reinforced the point instead of giving it away, and even spent multiple ultimates with just 2 defenders against the 6 members of Ghost. Obviously, this didn't go well for them. Their momentum, though, finally got stalled halfway through the Streets phase as a flanking Torque tack-visored from behind and killed 5 members of Ghost. The story of competing tack-visors continued after Ghost claimed the second checkpoint. Baby Bay again used the visor and rushed forward, killing 4 outright, earning another assist and also earning the second map for Ghost. On to Hollywood, where Complexity started off their defensive half well, with Harblue getting multi-kills and initial picks to engage in teamfights. This only lasted so long though, as Ghost built up ultimates and Mikey goes on an absolute rampage on Tracer to take point A and get the payload moving. Ghost didn't waste much time during the Streets phase, pushing relentlessly to the checkpoint with Mikey focusing on the supports and Connor J landing hook after hook. The last phase began with Ghost still fully footed on the gas pedal, surviving Earthshatter, Graviton, and Blizzard to turn the teamfight into a successful offensive half, thanks to a ridiculous performance from Blam on Ana and Ajax's sound barrier. After a fast point A take, Nicholas opened up the Westworld with a Diva Bomb double kill and Winghaven snagged himself 2 killing blows as well. The payload continued to push forward without Ghost being able to stabilize all the way to the second checkpoint. Complexity continued with their momentum all the way through third phase as well, ending in a brawl on the goal marker, but Ghost wasn't able to do anything other than stall for the minimum amount of time before Complexity also capped the point. Complexity then had 2 minutes left in their time back to attempt to capture point A again and move the payload as far as they could to set a marker for Ghost's 2:27 half. Time burned quickly for Complexity though, and despite their initial success, they found themselves with one last attempt to try and capture in overtime. With ultimates unleashed, they rushed the point, but Ghost was ready for them with their own. Sound barrier from Ajax kept the members of Ghost in the game and cleaned the point to get them a full hold. The very last push from Ghost now had members of Complexity disappearing from the point and practically deleted from the game faster than they could blink. Connor J earned 2 kills himself on the point, Mikey from behind peppered the flanks and prevented reinforcements, and even Ajax on Lucio chimed in with a kill. Ghost captured point A and won the match 3-0 to earn their spot in the grand finals against Immortals. And that concludes the Winter Premiere semi-finals with 2 scorelines of 3-0. To watch the next video, click this link, and to subscribe to the channel, click this link. Thanks again for your likes and comments on the video, and I'll see you tomorrow for the grand finals.